Hi everyone, happy to join today's BNB Chain AMA sessions. I haven't done AMA for quite a long while. Quite excited to pick up this again with Wilson Wei from CyberConnect. To start with, let me maybe spend a couple of minutes to introduce the big initiative we launched yesterday. It's called Connected 2023. It's the first BNB Chain Web3 social hackathon, co-hosted by BNB Chain and also with CyberConnect. Big thanks to our sponsors, including Notify, LivePeer, Lit Protocol, and XMTP. So if you are a developer, no matter where you are, if you have any concepts or ideas about socials, SocialFi, data ownership, or social graph, feel free to join with us in this hackathon. So we are aiming to build a more robust and diversified SocialFi ecosystem on BNB Chain. Hope we are on this journey together. Cool, let's start today's AMA session. I will let Wilson Wei to introduce himself and also CyberConnect. Welcome again, Wilson.
Hey, Laura. Hey, everybody. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's excited to be able to co-host this great Web3 social hackathon with BNB Chain. And a little bit background about myself. I got into the space in 2017 back in Silicon Valley. Almost like right after I graduated from UC Berkeley, I got into crypto. By the way, one of the very first token that I purchased was actually BNB token. It was awesome, such a ride. Eventually we started our first startup company, trying to create a decentralized content economy. We built a blockchain ourselves. We tested out so many different things. And eventually we also built a live streaming platform called DLive.tv, which was acquired by BitTorrent in probably like early 2020. We have been working with influencers for a long time. And that actually inspired us to create CyberConnect, this new project, this new journey that we're in right now. I'd love to do a screen share and give you guys a little bit more info about what we're actually building and how this could enable this Web3 social as a protocol for the BNB ecosystem.
Cool. Feel free to share more.
Give me a sec. I'm doing it. Okay. Hold on, give me a sec. Sorry. Looking for this window. Tab. Okay. In this case, I'm just gonna share my entire screen then. Can you see this?
Not really. Oh, cool. It's downloading. Sure. We can
Okay.
see it right now.
Great. So in short, CyberConnect is a decentralized social graph protocol with identity, self-sovereignty, and network effects. To begin with, I think the first thing you need to know about us, it's this on-chain profile system that we created on BNB Chain. So we basically used a non-transferable, at the moment it's non-transferable, but in the future it's going to be transferable. It's a profile system that has your unique handle attached to it. And users can now mint your profile through by clicking here on BNB Chain. And we're doing the hackathon, we're doing this campaign for free mint if your handle it's longer than 12 characters or so. So with this on-chain profiles of BNB Chain, your users will be able to create content in the form of NFT to collect money, to issue content NFT, to also collect subscription NFTs, and also will be able to issue all sorts of different kind of SBT to as part of their status building on chain. So that means a lot because we think, oh, by the way, the most important thing is about the social graph. With this identity on chain, we allow users to store your social graph relationship. Basically, social graph is your relationship between like who are you are following, who are following you, who are your friends, all kinds of relationship between profiles. And we enable users to store those relationships decentralizedly and let those data fully controlled by users. And the good side of it, it's when we were dealing with influencers and creators on different social media platforms, we found that one of the biggest problem was actually cross application operation. So when users are trying to set up new channels between different platforms, for example, let's say you spend like 5 years on Twitter, or longer time on maybe YouTube, and you have built it a great channel with, let's say, 5 million followers. What happened when you try to create a new account on any other social media platforms? Your social impact, your followers, your social graph basically go back to zero. You have to bootstrap everything again from a new platform, because you don't actually own all those data that you built on YouTube or any centralized social media platforms. So CyberConnect, it's here to let users own their identity and, of course, their social data. And I think enabling social graph or any social data to cross-platform and operate in a way that users can just travel between this platform to that platform with a single identity. I think that's super helpful, especially for creators and influencers as well. So there are many different components attached to it. For example, like the WES token that we created as a standard to help users to build status. Essentially, it's a very similar concept to the Soulbound token. It's a non-transferable token. And one of the simplest use case now, it's on Link3. So Link3, it's the flagship product building on top of CyberConnect protocol. And it majorly have two features now. The first one, it's enabling users to join different campaigns, online AMAs, like for example, this one. This one is the one that we're currently hosting right now. And we track users' proof of attendance, and they will be able to collect West as a proof of attendance token virtually. And the more status token, West token that you claim, the more complete your identity becomes. And so when the next time you click on someone's profile, you'll be able to know more about this person, not only based on the information that this person displayed, but also according to like how many SBT or what kind of credential or status token that they claim. You'll be able to trust them a little bit more based on those stats. And Link3, another major feature is here. A lot of, like, this is my profile, for example. It's a very similar concept to Linktree, but it's a fully decentralized, in a very decentralized way. So you own all the content stored here, and you create this page as your all-in-one link profile page. You can display it or show off your verified assets, show off the content you like, and also collect like credential data. Like for example, there are like you can display your Poll app, your WES, your Galaxy O80 all in one page. And there are already more than 1,200 verified organizations joined us. And based on the data, about half of them are already using this link on Twitter bio, which are a pretty solid use case. Their community members join, find different information through those like all-in-one link pages and join the community by simply clicking follow. But this follow is not the same as the Twitter kind of follow. It's the follow that build a connection between your profile to this organization profile in a decentralized manner. And therefore, when you make friends, for example, this is my profile. When I make friends here, I can actually bring those data, bring my friends to different platforms. I think that's a very quick rundown of what we have been building in the last like 2 years almost. Back to you, Laura.
Quite interesting. So Maybe a quick question for the product you just mentioned. So for those data, where do you storage all of those user profile and information?
Yeah, so we provided this like very unique solution. A lot like, for example, your user profile, your handle, it's stored on chain. So that's why users have to go to BNB Chain and mint their unique handle profile. And along with it, there are some other data, like for example, SBT, your content NFT, or the subscription type of NFT. All those data are stored on chain, attaching to your profile directly. But there are also some different types of data that is stored off chain, but still in a decentralized manner. For example, if you're trying to create a normal type of follow or add a friend, so far we have been storing it on a decentralized storage platform. And moving forward, that's also like, I heard the news that BNB Chain is doing Greenfield, such an amazing project. It has a huge potential for storing all the users' high frequency social data in a super low cost. I think that's how I see users are gonna store their social related data, partly on chain. The most valuable transaction and the ID itself is on chain, but the higher frequency data, which requires data abundancy, should be stored in a decentralized manner, but not costly as on chain.
Got it. Got it. Quite clear. Let's get back to the SocialFi or Web3 social hackathon. I think a lot of developers, they are very interested about this hackathon. Would you mind to share a little bit more about this hackathon and also what we can expect from this?
Yeah, definitely. Let me do like a quick screen share. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Connected 2023, it's a Web3 social hackathon hosted by BNB Chain and CyberConnect, obviously. So we welcome all the talents, the people who wanted to tap into Web3 and also super interested in building social related platforms to join this hackathon. And we kick off the announcement yesterday, and it's gonna be a month long. So please do apply if you are a hacker and interested in building Web3 social. The application will stop on February 20th. And then at the end of it, we're going to do a huge demo day along with a lot of the top investors, top CEO, like top project CEOs from the space to be the judge. And during the hackathon, we're going to have mentors from our partner list. And of course, there will be prizes to the winners. And don't forget, join as a user. If you are a user instead of a hacker, you can join the campaign through this. You can mint a profile. There's free mint available, and then tweet about us, upvote for the favorite projects that you like during the hackathon. This feature is going to be up 2 weeks later, and because we still want some time to collect more applications. Subscribe to join. There will be 200 Link3 boxes, mystery boxes giveaway for all the for the participants. Details results will be announced at the end of the hackathon. Yeah, please do stay tuned. Subscribe email to 123 and then subscribe your email. Each of the Link3 mystery box right now, it's listed on OpenSea. Actually, it's worth about 0.2 or 0.19 ETH. So it's a pretty good price. Yeah, I think that's about the hackathon. And of course, there are we also want to share some more ideas around it. I think we can talk a lot more about like what could be built with the hackathon. I do have a couple of cool ideas. And if you have questions or you need support, join our Discord channel. It could be found here. But make sure you click apply to hack and join the hackathon if you're a developer. If you're a user, then just join the reward campaign and wait for the project's leaderboard.
Thank you for the introduction. As you mentioned, I think CyberConnect is a social graph. It's more like an infrastructure, right? So would you mind to share a little bit more about why those developers or projects can leverage on your underlying infrastructure to build their own applications?
Yeah, definitely. So we're trying to come up with this concept in a in a way that it's easier for end users to understand. So think of it as we're creating this Web3 universal user account system, just like how you created an account on traditional social media platforms. You have your Facebook, you have your Google, you have your Twitter account. But with Web3, with CyberConnect, what we're doing is while you are creating an account, we're actually issuing and profile NFT on chain. That's the anchor for representing your ownership to this identity. Versus like if you created an account on Facebook, that data, that piece of data, it's actually stored centralizedly on Facebook, on Meta, and they can do whatever with it. They can shut you down at any moment, right? And those data, a lack of interoperability, and there is no composability because it's not a blockchain. So that's the first part users need to understand it. And that's also the first piece of infrastructure that we're providing for developers. And that the whole account system consists with three components majorly. The first one, it's the things I just mentioned, the on-chain profile, the CC profile part. And the second part, it's the social graph data modules. Data modules, it's important to for developers to leverage the whole network because it has network effect inside it. We all see how powerful it was when Facebook's social graph API was still open. There were a lot of social application booming with with their ecosystem. There are social games like Zynga platform. There are dating apps everywhere, and college community social specific like social app leveraging those data because of the social graph data network was open. That API was open for ecosystem building, but at some point, Meta just shut it down because it's not a decentralized infrastructure ultimately, and it's at I don't like exactly like how they come up with that logic, but I think fundamentally it has a conflict to their corporation's interests. That's why they shut it down. So for CyberConnect, the whole ecosystem, basically all the application, all the users are building this social graph. And in the past like 12 months, we have accumulated more than 20 million social graph relationship between users, and those data could be leveraged by developers. And here's why: like when you log into a new application with your social graph, the developers could, based on the social graph data that they collected from us, and of course permitted by user, to come up with a very customized user experience. Like for example, I'll be able to know, oh, Laura, as my friend, is also playing this game, and she's already like a platinum user, and I'm still here. Like, why don't I ask Laura to play along with me and help me a little bit? And if I also know a lot of people are trying to build like social media platforms. So the network effect here is like when you log into the platform, you don't have to click through like all those like whether you're interested in this or that. The developer will already have like the KOLs that you follow and automatically give you this feed. The same as like it's like your um, address book on your phone. Technically you can bring your address book on your on your iPhone or mobile phone to any application you want, but it's just not that easy and it's not that interoperable because the account system, it's not united. There's a phone number account system and there's an application account system, and we're trying to bring everything together and create that network effect. Yeah, and then the last part, it's something we're still developing, and I don't want to announce it now. It will be a huge spoil. But yeah, it's gonna be a huge announcement in probably, hopefully, in April this year.
So
That's gonna,
after our hackathon, so
yeah,
maybe your new product will be ready, right? Cool.
yeah, the new
Cool.
infrastructure. Yes.
Very looking forward for that part. So we have seen a hot trend about Web3 social, right? Jack Dorsey just announced demos last week, which caused a lot of hype on social media. So from your point of view, what are the main challenges in Web3 social? And from CyberConnect angle, how CyberConnect is helping to solve those challenges?
I think like for Web3 social, the main problem it's still infrastructure. I don't think it's a lack of ideas of how social could look like. I think it's more like how could we like, for example, like how could we enable users to have 100% ownership over their identity and also related data. If like, for example, like one user, let's say a user have been interacting with Facebook for a year, that's a ton of data. It's a huge ton of data, and we have to know like what are the valuable data that this user would love to keep for themselves, and what kind of data they would want to store decentralizedly, and also bring it to other platforms. And all those small pieces infrastructure is just not 100% ready yet. And therefore we can see some projects are trying to build like what the so-called like Web 2.5 kind of product. They do it because the infrastructure it's not that mature yet, and that's why we aim to be the infrastructure provider within the space. And we have to do it step by step. I'm not saying like the current solution it's already perfect. But I think it's moving things forward, enabling data ownership, making data interoperable to create a network effect, um, and lowering the barrier for users to mint a profile. I think those are the progresses that we have made, and we're going to continue to do more.
Great. So right now on your mind, what are the major use cases in Web3 social, and any ideas or directions to share with us? So I think because a lot of developers are also joining this AMA with us, I think they are quite interested about those concepts and ideas.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you ask me like what is the existing largest use case,
Mm,
uh, it's obviously like Twitter. You know, uh,
yeah, true.
Unfortunately, it's a private owned company. It's not a Web3 um, powered decentralized community yet. Um, but I do think that there are a couple pretty good opportunities in my opinion. One, it's I love creator economy. I think creator economy it's huge. It has been demonstrated in the last decade or so, and it has great potential because you know the powerful thing that blockchain is providing us it's value transfer and ownership, right? And in terms of like value transfer, um, how can we like make the relationship between creators, platform, and users better and more transparent in a more transparent and fair way? I think that's what blockchain and Web3 could enable. And it's a huge industry. For example, like loyalty program for creators, loyalty program for projects has been a very popular concept within our space for project management. People care so much about the community, but for mainstream users or use cases like I think it could apply like a similar concept could be applied to creator economy. Influencers, creators, they ought to be care about their fan base, right? And right now how they are interacting with their fans are strictly controlled by the platform they are on. They don't have a direct relationship built with their fan base, and also they don't own those data. And if there is a platform could enable a new way for influencers or creators to engage with their fans, and somehow make the value transferring process more transparent and more user friendly, I think that would be cool. Another direction would be, there are a lot. Like another direction I could share, it's like if you are interested in building any kind of like social media platforms, I would say reputation status. It's a key thing that Web3 could help you solve. That's why also one of the reasons why we tested out the Web3 status token West on Link3 to try to help users to build up their status in different use cases. Yeah, I think that could be a one of the key differentiation, because you can actually build up user status not only within one app. You could leverage the user's status data, that the data could be generated on different application, but all data could be recorded on chain, and then you could leverage that data to make your user more recognizable, more trustworthy. Trust is it's a big issue. If you could somehow leverage those data to solve the trust issue, I think it would create huge value. A very simple example would be like, if you check on LinkedIn, it has a huge problem of fake accounts, fake profiles. People just claim they graduated from Harvard, they went to Binance or whatever. I think CZ actually mentioned it in a tweet, like 90 something percent of the user claiming they're working in Binance on LinkedIn is not real. So I think that's a legit problem. And actually, like, by leveraging SBT and CyberConnect and blockchain we have, it's actually pretty solvable. I think there could be a lot of solution with it. So that's another thing that people should pay attention to. Laura, are those enough?
I mean, I'm looking forward for someday that everything on the chain can be verified. So it's easier for me to check someone's, where did he graduate, where did he work. I think it's quite a cool direction. I think right now from the comments we can find a lot of developers, they are very interested in this hackathon. So what kind of support they can get from this hackathon?
Yeah, so first of all, we have different co-sponsors as well. They provided a set of amazing tools. Notify is providing notification system. Lib Protocol is providing access control, encryption. Live Peer, if you're doing video or live streaming apps, definitely check out Live Peer. They're providing pretty cool decentralized CDN solution, and XMTP, they're doing secure messaging. So those are the tools that you could leverage with, and of course CyberConnect. And please do check out our website and see our dev center. The website is cc.me. And if you have further questions, please join our developer Discord for the hackathon. But do make sure you apply first.
Okay, cool. I think I will share the hackathon link again. For the users, how about do they have any chance to join this hackathon, or what are the best way for them to engage with the CyberConnect community?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we actually especially designed this for the users. So we have Link3 who sponsored 200 mystery boxes. Each of them worth like about like 0.19 ETH, and it could be traded. It's a pretty cool thing. And users who just go to the website like connected.cc.me, connected like 20 .cc.me, and then click on join as a user. You see like there are 4 things that you need to do in order to join the raffle. It's pretty easy. Free mint your profile. That's basically the first step. You need to get ready to explore different applications, right? And then tweet about us, hashtag connected 2023 at Binance, BNB Chain, and also CyberConnect. and write your ideas on Twitter, share your Web3 social ideas. We're going to take a look at that while we're selecting the winners. So do pay attention. Like some people are just like sharing randomly, but just letting everybody know here, like we're gonna manually look into what your ideas are. And then number three, we're gonna upload the project leaderboard for the hackathon in 2 weeks. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe to our email, and there are gonna be more perks coming up. We're still designing them, and yeah, hopefully we can have more users start trying out Web3 social application during the hackathon.
Thank you for the clarification. I hope today's AMA session can really address most of the questions from both developers and projects. Again, if you do have any other questions, feel free to reach out to Discord about Connected 2023. We do have dedicated tech teammates there from CyberConnect to solve all of those questions. If you have any advice or suggestions for BNB Chain, feel free to leave any comments on our Twitter. Feel free to stay tuned about all of those upcoming events and activities. I hope we can see you soon. Thank you again, Wilson.
Thank you, everyone. Thank